No. What's up, everyone? We're just waiting for Brandon Styles to reconnect. We lost him, but we'll get going in a minute. Medi token. I'm excited for this one. This one is going to be good. Just waiting for him to relog on. Let me re-invite him. Let's see. We're just going to get started in a minute. Let me just resend him this. Not sure what happened. We're getting him on right now. We had some. I couldn't hear him at first. Let's see. Here he comes. Is that better? You were kind of squirrely for a second.
Yeah, I think I'm better now.
Oh, way better. Way better. All right, let me run this video real quick and then we'll get going, man.
All right.
Hold on, let me let's see, the audio is not there, is it?
And the frequency of disasters is only increasing. There are people who need the help, and there are people who are ready to provide it. But to us, the process wasn't efficient enough. Therefore, we invented the Medi token, which is going to revolutionize the way charities and healthcare work. Investing in this token will usher in a new era of helping people that is fast, secure, and generates the biggest impact. We aim to create a change that maximizes the utility for the people of the world. Medi token is ready to bring relief, aid, and hope back into the world, so pummeled by disasters. Since it is in the crypto space, it is cost-effective and transparent, and a safe investment for our investors. We are trying to be the change that we want to see in the world. Do you?
Well, Brandon Styles, welcome, man. I'm so glad, honestly, that you came on the show. I've been a fan of Medi token for a little while now. I've done a couple videos on it, and honestly, I'm just impressed. When I look at a project, I look for a couple different things. I look for who's actually behind the projects, right? The CEO, the team, what the project actually does, like utility-wise, how they're different from other projects, and their community. And for me, you guys checked all three of those boxes. So I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. And not to get right into business right out of the gates, because I know you've done a bunch of AMAs and it's strictly business. But just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do for fun, man, besides Medi token, just a little bit about Brandon Styles.
Well, first off, man, thank you for having me on your platform. I gotta give you a huge shout out and huge appreciation for that. I've seen your videos. I loved all the coverage, man, and so thank you for that. And I'm hoping we can drop some bombs today on your AMA also, man.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get that out the way first. But yeah, man, my name's Brandon Styles. I'm the CEO of Medi Token. A little bit about myself. Background was I'm an entrepreneur right now in real estate. I got a construction company. I also flip houses, fix them, and sell them. I own apartment buildings. I'm a landlord. Been doing it about 7 years now. That the job I had before becoming an entrepreneur, I worked in the aerospace industry as a quality engineer and continuous improvement. Continuous improvement trainer. Let's see, that's pretty much my background. What else we got going on here for fun? I don't know, work out, read, travel, hang with friends, drink some beer, typical regular guy stuff, man.
Right. Do you play sports at all?
I play soccer. soccer.
What? Okay. I've been playing soccer since I was 3 years old, man.
Nice.
My wife and I actually started our own youth soccer league, right? That we ran it up to about a couple thousand kids and then sold it off. But yeah, for sure, man. Soccer is my big thing. That's
Same
cool.
Here.
So let's get. It's funny you say flipping houses because my wife is starting to learn how to flip houses too. So that's honestly really cool. So let's see. So with this AMA, man, I know you've answered a lot of these questions with the AMA tour that you guys are going on right now. So it's going to be maybe a little bit repetitive, but this is also for the new investor, right? The ones that maybe don't know about Medi Token. So if it seems a little redundant of the past AMAs, just bear with us, and it's going to be a fun time, man. So what made you actually start Medi Token, and what makes Medi Token stand out versus all the other projects out there? Like, what makes it unique?
Okay, so how Medi Token came to be is I've been an investor in crypto on and off. I think my first experience with crypto was Bitcoin back in like 2011, 2012. Bought some of that stuff. Typical story, bought some Bitcoin, didn't realize I was sitting on gold, lost the Bitcoin, realized Bitcoin's worth a whole lot of money, got sad about it and depressed, and kind of stayed away from crypto for a few years. I went through that whole stint. And then I think 2019 is when I kind of started getting like more focused and more involved in crypto. And 2020, when the pandemic hits, when I kind of like shifted gears and kind of went like more full time into crypto. And during that time is when I kind of got the idea for Medi Token, because the pandemic showed everybody, you know, around the world how hard hit the medical sector was, like first responders, hospitals, clinics, nurses, doctors. Like you got to see, like, man, they were like going through it. Like the resources didn't seem like they had enough resources. They were being overworked, understaffed, and it just looked bad. And like I had always wanted to do more, like just like in general for like, you know, the greater good. But I also like making money. And I'm like, well, hey, it'd be pretty cool if, you know, one day someone could take some of this trillions of dollars from crypto and funnel some of that into like the healthcare industry and the healthcare sector. And then I said, well, why not do it? Why not come up with an idea, and why not make that happen? So I think 2020 is when I started like playing around the idea of how can I make a token, or how can I create a project that can also give back to like everyday person and give back to like the world and like a greater good of like the people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and that's definitely, you don't see, I mean, it's honestly seems like there's a new token every second that generates on Uniswap or whatever, the BSC network. But you're different, your charities that you do, which is, I don't see a whole lot of them. I know there's some charity tokens, but I don't think there's as much power behind those charity tokens as you guys have with Medi Token. Just to be honest with you, right? Now your tokenomics, right? So 3% goes to charity, which I absolutely love. Does that 3% just go to a wallet? And then once you're ready to donate to a charity, do you then switch out those coins to ETH, or like how does that process go? And just the reason I ask is because if it goes to a wallet, does that affect the price at all when you switch it out or cash it out all at once? How does that kind of work?
Yeah. So the charity wallet, so the only wallet that contains the tokens per se from the taxes, that 3%, those tax tokens that we get, there's only one wallet that gets those taxes, and it's the contract wallet. After that, it's an automatic swap on the conversion. So the other, our charity wallet, our marketing development wallet, those get paid out in ETH.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so they're already converted when we use those funds, so they don't price impact. They don't
not at all
chart too off, not too much.
Yeah, you don't see the big. Yeah, so that's one of the things I was worried about, is if it just goes just like a Medi token into that wallet and you have tens of thousands of dollars and then you cash it out, obviously that's going to impact the price. But it sounds like it's not going to impact the price whatsoever. And I know that was some of the questions I got on my DM was, how does that really affect the price? And I didn't know the answer, obviously, but yeah, it sounds like it doesn't affect the price at all. I mean, if it does, it's very, very little.
Right.
Which is awesome. That's actually a great, unique quality of how you guys do that, to be honest with you. So most charities, you guys are with your charities, do you automatically, how do you pick your charities? Do you like have a set type of charity you donate to, or do you get them from like a list or something, or how do you go about actually getting the charities?
So so there's a site called thegivingblock.com, and that site has like hundreds of charitable organizations that accept cryptocurrency.
Right.
So we, being that our main focus is like the healthcare sector, medical, first responders, and anything in that realm, we go to the Giving Block, and then we choose charities that are aligned with those sectors, and then we pick from those. And then when we pick those, we verify, we contact the charities that we're interested in, just, do our due diligence, just make sure, hey, what have you done lately? Is the money going to where it's supposed to be going? How much money goes to to whatever you're donating, or the organization that you're planning on using it for? So we do our homework on each charity that we pick from the Giving Block before we actually commit and donate to those.
Yeah, and that's huge. We actually had a big charity part of our youth soccer program. We would raise a bunch of money and choose charities. It was mind-blowing when you actually dug into the charities that you donate to, what percent actually goes to the charity for the cause, which was, I think it was absolutely crazy. I think it was like 10% or less than 10%, something like that. I was absolutely blown away with the actual number that goes for the cause. The rest is just, taking care of employees, or if it's a 501c3, just expenses, I guess. But so is any one of your team members or any of that, are they in the health industry, or are they first responders, or like do you just gravitate to the healthcare because of the need during COVID? And it was a crazy time, right? Or it still is a crazy time, but
yeah. So no one in our team has any like formal like medical background or medical education or working in that industry. I have family members that are doctors and nurses, and so I got to see it firsthand, and that was another reason why I kind of came up with this idea and this concept, because I got to see what they were going through, and I'm like, man, I could really use some help, So like that's really where it came from, like my personal experiences, and then just seeing what was going on globally during this pandemic now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I have a lot of friends and family members I saw actually go through that whole thing, and it's an eye opener for sure of what the situation they're actually put into. So that's another thing that just drew me into you guys, is the whole healthcare industry and what you guys are trying to do, which I think the healthcare industry obviously is one of the biggest industries in the world, obviously in real estate, but we definitely need a lot more help in the healthcare industry for sure. So I know so I get DMs about this one, and I know you talked to it. I know the answer personally, but I wanted to ask you just so you can tell everyone else, like the newer investor. So there was a version 1 Medi token, and now there's the current version 2.
Yep.
The short story, obviously, because I know there's probably a super long one. What happened with that, and kind of what was the outcome of that?
Yeah. So definitely a long story, man. Long. Short version of that story is the core team, me, Lee, our web developer, and Dan, our PR director. We are the core team, and so on our V1 on that creation, we outsourced our blockchain developer, third-party guy. So I was referred to this blockchain developer from another dev team, from another project that seemed to be somewhat successful, and they're still running now. I won't mention any names, but so I got this blockchain dev from this tokens project, right? Was working with the guy for about 6 to 8 weeks. We thought everything was legit. He wasn't fully doxed with us, but we did do like some conference calls and had him on a Telegram chat that we were all talking together as a team.
Right.
So come launch, we launched our V1 launch December the 15th, and the 5th hour of the launch, the blockchain developer. So we thought we had control of the contract, but we didn't. So what happened was probably the 5th hour in, the blockchain developer took control of the contract again. minted new tokens, drained liquidity, and then stopped all trading. So the blockchain developer we were working with rugged us.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, it was terrible, man. And everybody's like, you were the devs, y'all should have knew this. And it's like, we didn't know. Like,
right.
Yeah. So that's what happened. Like, we got rugged from our blockchain developer, found out what he did, got rid of him, got rid of anything that he had touched. So like the game, the website, anything he had touched, we scrubbed all that down and had to build it all from scratch again. We found Robert, put him on board. He's fully doxed. We did video calls. We know him, his family. Like we feel real comfortable with Robert now. Right. We met him, got comfortable with him. So we're going to try this again. Let's run it back. Bring Medi back from the ashes and see what happens.
And with version 2, with all the original investors, you did a 1-for-1, is from what I'm aware of, right? Whether it was an exact token for token. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. A 1-for-1. So we had 125 or 130 V1 people that came in during that 5 hours of that launch. So right. We 1-for-1 everybody that had V1, they got V2. So if you had 10 V1 Medi, you got 10 V2 Medi.
Oh, nice. That's perfect. Yeah. And 2 things I actually learned from you with this whole process on that V1, V2 is, one, first of all, my question is, how the heck do you say, all right, let's run it back, let's do it, and then let's get another developer in here? How do you just not throw in the towel? And that right there speaks volumes of who you are and what you're trying to do. Because most people in that situation would just say, all right, we got screwed, pack it up, we're out, right? Like, how do you overcome something like that on that level, right?
Yeah. So I before being a developer, I was an investor. I'm still an investor. Like, I'm always going to be an investor. So I've been in rug pools, I've been in honeypots. I've dealt with slow rugs. I've dealt with relaunches, and I've never been through a successful relaunch, and none of that. So I know how it feels personally.
Right.
Do that. And I'm not that kind of person that can say, all right, well, whoops, our bad, but sorry for your loss, everybody. Like, that's not how I am. That's not how the team is. So we were like, you know what? It's going to suck. It's going to be rough. People are going to hate us, but we're going to keep everything how it is, and we're going to be completely transparent. And then hopefully we grow from this, and people realize, hey, these guys are actually legit, and they mean business, and they're sincere guys. And that's what I think we accomplished, that by just being true to what we were trying to do and saying, hey, we're sorry, everybody. We'll try to make it as right as we can, and not going anywhere.
And that's honestly, so like a positive spin on that, because I've owned businesses before, I've sold businesses. That's actually, obviously it sucks, right? No one wants to go through that crap. But as a business owner, you actually going through that kind of educates you on now what to look for. And it makes you more of a, not saying you're not mature, but it makes you more of a mature coin owner or developer, or just like in real estate, with your first couple flips, right? You're going to mess up. You're going to lose a lot of money, but you learn from that and you don't make those mistakes again. So it actually makes you a stronger CEO, developer, or an actual project owner. You know what I mean? So a little bit of a positive spin on that. But yeah, man, most people in that situation would just say, check, please. I'm out. See ya. I'm going to go maybe start something else out of whatever. But yeah, I commend you for that 100%. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was rough, man. Like, it's funny story. So during our relaunch phase, it took us about a month to relaunch, and we put a poll out, and we said, the poll, we asked everybody that was in the V1 that had got rugged. It was probably like a week after the rug. We were like, hey, do you want Medi token to relaunch? Yes or no?
Oh, no.
And I think it was like 95% of the people said no. It was like 500 people voted, and like 95% of people said no relaunch. We don't want anything to do with it. We don't want y'all to come back out. And we're like, okay, good to know, but we're going to relaunch anyway.
Right. What we noted that opinion. However, we're relaunching.
Right.
It's awesome. So let's jump into the Medicopter. So let me pull it up here real quick. I love these type of games in your Medi Hub. Let's see. coming soon. Okay, so let's see, Medicover. Now, I know you have this. I've heard in before in AMAs that you have this game fully completed. You're just working on a couple of things in the back end. I also heard that you have possibly 3 games total that are ready to go, and one of them is, and this is not breaking news, but one of them is a Mega Man style game. Is that correct? Can you tell me about like a little bit on each of those, and obviously are they play to earn, and what do you earn with them? And I know all the details are probably not set yet, right? You're still working that stuff out, but yeah, if you can just touch on your games and kind of what they do and what you can earn from them.
Okay, so the Medicopter, which is like is going to be our first play to earn game. That is based off Flappy Birds. It's not an original concept. It's not unique. I mean, we put our spin to it, and we think it's a fun game. But that game would be a leaderboard style, earn ETH weekly, like maybe the top. We haven't figured this out just yet. Maybe the top 5, top 10, or who knows, top 15 people each week will earn some type of ETH payout.
Right.
So that's the Medicopter. Then we have another game that's like a crazy taxi kind of ambulance driving game where you put a person in the ambulance and you try and get them from the hospital point A to hospital point B, weaving through traffic and stuff like that.
As fast as possible, right?
Yep. So we got that going on. It's going to be play to earn, but we don't know the mechanics on the play to earn for that one just yet. Not sure if it's going to be a leaderboard style or if it's going to be more of a just like everybody plays, everybody earns.
Right.
So we got that. The Mega Man style game, we don't know about that one. That's going to be play to earn or not, because we're still trying to figure out the mechanics of it and just like how it's going to work out that way.
Right.
That's it's a 2D side scroller kind of game. Jump, shoot, get items, fight bosses, stuff like that, like mini bosses, stuff like that. So that is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm for sure excited about that. I grew up with Mega Man and Nintendo. I had like an Atari right first, and then so I grew up in that era. So I definitely love those type of games, man.
Yep. So those
the play to earn is like, and especially with ETH, that's such a big thing right now, because everyone's looking for ways for passive income and ways to earn more, right? Not just putting money in and buying tokens, but actually earning tokens, right? And these games, I mean, people will play these games. Like my son, who's 14, him and his buddies will hammer out like hours of game time. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? But it's because of stuff like this, right? Where they earn stuff and it's just, it captures their whole, it just captures them into this game. I love it. Yep. I mean, it's a great concept, and I love what you're doing with it. Now you, with the play to earn, you're also possibly looking into a fitness app. Is that correct? Which
yeah.
I haven't seen too much of, to be honest with you. And I dive for stuff like this all the time. I haven't seen this really done yet. So this is, I think, what's a unique thing about you guys. So can you touch on what actually the fitness app is, or what you guys are looking for?
Yeah, so the fitness app is, we wanted to be like a multi-facet kind of thing. So the goal of Medi token, like, is to make it, it's bigger than just a token. The project, like, we want this to be something that can be used in the real world. We want real world utility. We want to be able to get into hospitals, clinics, provide some type of value or service to doctors, nurses, companies, corporations, businesses. So like the health and fitness app is going to be something where we're looking at a way where, one, like, everybody likes some type of health and fitness where it monitors vitals, rewards you on, maybe you do a certain workout, or maybe you go to the doctor and your doctor says, hey, I need you to lower your sodium intake. And then maybe we find a way that your doctor can put in information to like the health and fitness app, and then you reach a goal and then you get paid for hitting that mark. So it's kind of like how companies have, you get paid for steps or you get paid for your health. We're trying to go with that idea, but just in crypto. That's
probably one of the biggest things right now is everyone has those smartwatches, right? Where they're tracking steps, they're tracking every movement they make. And to bring crypto into it, honestly, I don't know why people need so much motivation to get healthy, but we do, right? For some reason we do. So that, yeah, I heard you on Teddy Ganja, and I heard you explain it on there. And I think it's an absolute brilliant idea. And I think that's something that sets you apart from all the other companies or projects, or I think that's really a huge utility, which I kind of agreed with him on that. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that in the future. And I know it's a process, right? Like you have to start with your play to earn, you have to start with this, and then you just progress, right? You just keep progressing every couple months, every year. So to get into kind of the progression, I see you guys have around, was it like 550-ish holders?
Yeah, about 520, 530. I think each scan's like 520 or 530.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, Dex is at 550-ish, right? Yeah, 551. So just to let you know, this is all because you're on my show. So you're welcome. Yep. I'm just kidding. not the red part, but this part right here. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so we're actually doing this an hour early, so that time zone changed. I usually go live at 6 p.m. Mountain, so we're an hour. So people are going to start coming in, and you'll see the numbers start going crazy. But yeah, we're just an hour early, so that's why. And I didn't want to change it on everyone, and especially you guys. But what's the let's see. I threw myself off trying to make a joke that wasn't that funny. What marketing plans do you guys have? I know you want to do a lot of stuff organically, but is your goal to try and get as many holders as possible? And I saw your partnership with Mandox, which I think was awesome. But what do you guys have in place as far as marketing, and how big do you guys really want to get, and how fast?
So like the market right now, as you know, is like it's terrible right now. It's terrible. It's like a baby bear right now. It's not a full bear market, but it's bearish.
It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, it is. It's very scary. So it's kind of hard to figure out and project how fast we can grow and how much marketing we can do, because we don't want to market all that. We don't want to throw too much marketing out there where people are like, all right, well, that's great. We see Medi token, but we're still scared to invest.
Right.
So with that being said, with the market how it is, we've been real slow about our organic growth, which is why you've seen the partnerships with Mandox, and we got other partnerships, other tokens coming up pretty soon that we're going to be announcing. So it's organic and slow, mainly going to different communities, kind of like getting a feel for people or groups or communities or projects that are more aligned with Medi token and our values. Not to say that the goal is to get everybody involved. Like we want unity. So like we're very neutral, but we're not picking sides or anything like that. But we want to make sure we align ourselves with other projects that are, in our same like core values. So yeah, organic growth. And then from there, man, make it nice and steady and get a good base. And then from there, we start doing the swaps, getting listed on a couple of swaps, get some more organic growth, branch out to other projects. And then from there, start thinking about getting on exchanges and things like that. And hopefully the market starts to recover, and then we can like do a full push. So that's kind of like the marketing strategy right now.
Yeah, that was my next question, right? When's the swaps and listings coming? Because that's honestly huge. And the reason I'm big on swaps is because let's just, for instance, Dojo swap, right? Which is super inexpensive to get on. But so say Shibnobi has around 62,000 holders. If your community and you list on Dojo swap, you're not just listing on a swap, you're listing into a whole new community that can potentially, two communities can combine, right? And then they'll start buying your tokens. Your community will start buying their tokens. So it creates kind of like a mega community. And that's what Dojo Swap is doing right now, is by bringing companies in and just creating kind of like a mega community where we're all share each other's coins, buying and selling or whatever. But swaps, I'm super big on swaps right now. And obviously exchanges, right? At the end of the day, even the small exchanges, they lead to the big ones, right? That 24-hour volume is what you want. So it's like you can't be on just one exchange and hope everything's going to be okay, because there's a lot of people that strictly wait for a certain exchange to get listed on. Like I have a bunch of friends that only will do business with Coinbase. And I'm like, dude, like go on Uniswap, get this token. And they're like, well, we'll just wait for it to get on Coinbase. I'm like, you're going to miss everything. You know what I mean? So there's certain people that do just like a hot bid or something. So once you get a bunch of little exchanges, you're going to grow so fast. And I know like I know you probably don't want to grow like way too fast because you want to have a community, like a good community. You don't want like a pump and dump and a lot of people that are toxic in your community. So I get what you're doing 100%, and I think that's the healthy way to go. So can you touch a little bit on that Mandox partnership? Because that Mandox team is awesome. I from what I've seen, their whole team is just a bunch of good people, right?
Yeah, they are. So to go back on swaps like the Dojo swap, I guess I can drop a bomb now.
Let's drop it.
Yeah, so Dojo swap is happening. We've already applied for Dojo swap. We already sent liquidity to them.
Nice.
We're just waiting for them to do the official, Medi token is being listed on Dojo swap. So that's happening.
Wait, Brandon. Wait, does anyone else know this?
No. This is all. You're the first person
that. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Brandon. Nice. I wanted one bombshell that no one else had. Teddy Ganja in your face. All right. Sorry. I'm sorry. We're good.
Yeah. Nah, man. So I figure I said this one for you, man. So that is definitely happening. Dojo swap is for all I know, it's pretty much it's a done deal. Like it's happening. So I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. I'm ecstatic about that one. To be honest, that's great.
Yeah, and then there's an exchange if we're lucky that we're going to get listed on exchange also this month.
I know you can't. I know the exchanges are very particular about them wanting to leak it first, right? So I'm not even going to put you in that position. I'll take that one bomb that you just gave us, and that's probably honestly Dojo swap is. I mean, I think that's a great move, and you should see a lot of traction just from that, right? Mm-hmm. So when you add that other exchange possibly later this month, I mean, just be prepared, right? Be prepared for just craziness. And I honestly think from just your roadmap alone, you're in phase one, pretty much phase two, right? Because you're just waiting on that play to earn game, which is already completed. You're just waiting for it to be finalized. And that 1,000 holders, I mean, obviously with Dojo swap and potentially that exchange, I mean, that for me, that'd be a done deal in the next couple of weeks. And then you're on to phase two, which is awesome. Slow and steady for sure, right? Like you don't want to fly through everything because that's when you start missing stuff and it gets overwhelming too, right? Because you think you got to do a whole lot more. And it gets very frustrating just from a business side of it. So I definitely like the way you guys are doing it. So let's see. I was going to ask you about Dojo swap. It was in my notes right here, but you nailed it.
Yeah. So sorry to throw you off, man, but I just figured since we were talking about that, I'm like, well, why not just drop that bomb now and just be done?
No, I loved it, man. That was awesome. Yeah. I was going to skip down. So how fast are you wanting? So I know we talked about organic growth, right? Steady growth. But how fast are you wanting and how big as far as like a 3 to 5 year plan? Like, are you wanting to be like in the next 3 years, let's say 25 exchanges, 25 million a day and 24-hour volume, or where you kind of see yourself in the next 3 years?
Oh man, next 3 years.
I know that's tough, right? It depends on market. It depends on a lot of stuff, right? But where do you kind of see yourself going?
I think in 3 years, I see Medi Token as a corporation, like a global corporation. So in 3 years, I would hope that we're more out, like more tangible in the world. Like I want to see Medi Token in hospitals and clinics, and I want to see people talking about Medi Token on the streets. So exchanges and stuff like that. Yeah, I want to get on as many as we can, obviously, so we can get more exposure and then get more people into crypto. But I think for a 3 to 5 year mark, I want to see Medi Token as like the face of a company. Like in my eyes, is already like this. It's a global company in my eyes already. It's small now, but the goal is to have it like something bigger than, I don't know, like the next Apple or Google or something like that.
No, those are definitely good goals. I'm going to come back to that corporation after I talk to you about this real quick. But because that corporation part for me is huge. And I'm going to touch on why it's huge for me at least. But so the bigger you get, right? The reason I asked the 3-year plan is because the bigger you guys get, the more people, the more organizations you can actually help in the future, right? Charity wise. So a buddy of mine, Cole Hatter, he owns this orphanage down in Mexico. We actually went there for a retreat at his orphanage and to help build, playgrounds, the soccer fields, and all that stuff. And he always paid for it out of his pocket. So finally, one of his friends said, "Hey, listen, just get investor money or get donations or something. This way, instead of doing one little part at a time, you can do a massive project down there, and it'll be way faster." So when I say like your 3-year plan and get as many exchanges and people as possible, he was able to raise like 350K. And now we're doing like a whole sports complex. Nothing crazy, right? Because you don't want to draw too much attention of where they're at, because then bad things will happen. But we're doing like a basketball court. They're doing actually a medical center there because they have no medical facility. So we're doing a small one there, and they're paying for staff. So that's why I say the bigger you get, the more people you'll be able to help, right? Which I think is over. I mean, the play to earn games are awesome. The fitness app is absolutely great. I'm totally on board with that. But for me, it's that charity. Ever since I went there and actually saw what we actually did for like kids and people, it totally changed the way I thought. And that was our group right there. It totally changed the way I thought about raising money and for charities and what it actually can do for people. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what drew me even closer to Medi Token, is just what you guys really do for charity. I mean, not a lot of companies do that. And I think the times we're having right now, more companies need to do stuff like you guys are doing, just to be good people and just to help people. Because a lot of people are on tough times, man, not just with COVID, but just in life in general. But yeah, I definitely, and I just went on a straight up tangent right there. I apologize, but I'm just big into charities, man, and giving back. But going back to the corporation, so are you guys right now an LLC, or what's your status right now?
Yeah, so right now we are an LLC. That's been already formed. So we're Medi Token LLC. And then we also, we've already applied for our 501c3 as well. We're just waiting to find out. We're waiting for the application to come back to let us know either A, we got accepted, or B, we have to resubmit for whatever reason. But we plan on being 501c3. So that way we have the Medi Token LLC, and then we have the Medi Token 501c3, like foundation. So the charity aspect would be under the 501c3, and then you have the development and the marketing will be under the LLC.
That's awesome. And just a real quick shout out, Crypto Vern in the house with Crypto Vault. Impressed with what you're doing with the team, Medi. I honestly couldn't agree more, man. And Crypto Vern, I see him on Teddy Ganja, and a good dude with Crypto Vault, obviously knows his stuff for sure. But I know he's a big supporter of Medi Token. So I know you were going to DM him. But yeah, I would definitely get hooked up with him, because maybe there's something there with the Crypto Vault. And now obviously I don't know their whole tokenomics or anything, but maybe there's something there with Medi and Crypto Vault where you guys can maybe do like a collaboration or something where you can get onto Crypto Vault. But for me, the corporation LLCs, that's one of the biggest things these days, because regulation's coming. Whether we like it or not, regulation is coming. I personally like it because the companies or projects that aren't LLCs, they're not incorporated, they're not going to follow regulations. It just is what it is. So the companies, the actual companies that are run like LLCs, incorporate or corporations, they're going to follow regulations, rules, SEC guidelines. They're going to be prepared for that. And when the regulations come out, there's going to be thousands, and this is just my opinion, but there's going to be thousands of these projects that are gone overnight, a week, or whatever it's going to take. They're going to be gone. And all of that money and all those tokens that were with those projects are going to move to fully regulated companies like LLCs, corporations. It's just that transfer is going to happen. So I'm so happy to hear that you guys are an LLC. And so it makes me think this is long term, because a lot of projects that aren't LLCs, they're not going to do that. They're just going to stick to their, just running a coin and not taking it serious. For me, that's not a long term investment. You know what I mean? That's a short, quick, I'm going to take profits out, and that token's never really going to do anything. So I definitely think you're in the right direction. And then Meta Sensei says, thank you, Patrick, for hosting Believing in Medi Token. Absolutely. And Crypto Vern, again, man, I definitely appreciate that for sure. Thank you so much. And he also says, trust me, it's more than meets the eye, for sure. So let me just hammer some of these out real quick. Crypto Vern, when are you going to do an AMA with Medi Token on your YouTube channel? Yeah, what's up, Crypto Vern's on the spot. Uh-oh. Let's answer this one. So let's see. Yeah, so for me, I mean, it's big time for that LLC corporation. So that's awesome. So as far as utilities and stuff like that, I know you guys are working on the fitness app, the play to earn game. Is there going to be like another major utility you guys are thinking about, like long term, where obviously it's not going to happen this year, next year, but later on down the road? Is there something that overall you want to get to with Medi Token as far as utility goes?
Yeah. Like with the metaverse coming out and everything kind of going virtual, I would like to be able to. I want to see Medi Token like provide some type of need in the virtual aspect with like the healthcare industry, like maybe something like even like doing virtual training. Like what if you had a classroom of doctors and nurses that could put VR sets on and they can do virtual like operations, right? And a Medi Token was to be able to like, foster that or like develop something like that or be a part of that. So that's kind of like where my head is. I'm like, it'd be real cool, metaverse, get people involved or even provide an opportunity for just regular people. Hey, I want to know what a doctor or a nurse goes through or a fireman or a police officer. They can get into the metaverse and then they can experience what it's like to be a doctor or what it's like to be a firefighter or a helicopter pilot or something like that. So I'm thinking,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, man. So it'd be real cool if we could find a way to do some type of like VR simulation in hospitals with like training doctors and nurses and stuff like that. I think that's where the future is kind of going that way.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to have a Medi clinic in the metaverse right there, where you can actually like learn and see procedures and just educate yourself. But the metaverse is something that, and I've done a lot of research on metaverse. Metaverse is actually going to take over. So if you're not in the metaverse, it's kind of like the Blockbuster effect. If you're not going to be able to do the metaverse, you're going to get left behind, because there's so many projects that are going into the metaverse right now. And yeah, man, like just training alone, there's so much stuff with the VR systems that you can do. Because it's like, I mean, you go to an actual college and get hands-on experience and pay $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, or do you actually go through training in the VR where you're actually in a room and you can do stuff? I mean, obviously it's all virtual, but virtual is pretty dang realistic, man. And you can do a lot of stuff. I know the UFC is going to get into the metaverse where you can actually be at live fights on your couch, but you're actually like right next to the ring, right? It's just absolutely insane. So I am excited about that right there from what you just said, man. I think the metaverse and just like a Medi clinic or whatever the name is, it is honestly a great thing. And obviously it's going to take time, right? Stuff like that really takes time, but it's nice to know you're thinking that far ahead. And that's kind of what, so you thinking ahead, I have this on my phone. This isn't an exact quote from you, but you were on a Twitter space, I want to say last week or something like that. And you talked about, let me bring it up real quick. So you were talking about this right here, your Medi Madness buy event with the 0% tax on all buys, Friday 11th, 18th, 25th, and March 31st, right?
Yep.
Someone brought up, well, could you still put the 3% taxes to charity? And I loved your answer, and I can tell you struggled with it. And I'm not quoting you, so if I just wrote down real quick, but you said that it really hurts you that you're getting away from that 3% just for those specific days. However, long term, if it's more attractive having a 0% tax than a 3% tax, and if you can get a lot more holders by doing a 0% tax, in the long run, you'll gain a lot more money getting that 3% charity tax in the longer run, in the future. So you're thinking in the future of getting just a bunch of holders because of this promotion, and then later on having it pay you off, or not pay you off, but pay more to that specific charity wallet. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. You hit it. That's exactly what my thought was, and that's my like vision on that. Like it's like, yeah, I know everybody's like charity now, but like Medi token is a long term. Like it's a long term play, but it's beyond a play. Like what I'm trying to do with Medi token, I'm trying to have it be something that's around when after we're all dead and gone. Like so it's like the charity is going to happen. So it's like, okay, yeah, we lose 3% for a few weeks or a few months. That's fine, because in the bigger picture, like in 2 years from now, when we got 100,000 holders, because people were coming in and getting word of mouth and spreading that word, like that 0% that we didn't get taxes on doesn't mean anything.
Right. Yeah, I'm all about. So we built a youth soccer organization from the ground up, and our whole philosophy was everyone was building these like mega teams, right? These older teams or whatever. But I focused on the recreational younger kids, and we built such a huge foundation to where every year these kids got a year older, and then we would just build and just get wider, and then that width just became like bigger and bigger and bigger. So as weird of an analogy that is, you're trying to build your base right now as strong as possible, so your future is can pay dividends in the long run, right? Like, and that's what a lot of these companies, and that's why I think you growing organically the way you are is going to make your project stronger, because you don't want to go from 0 to 100,000 holders. I mean, yes, it would be nice. It would be nice to those investors that aren't going to be around long term, right? So they can just dump and then take profit and leave. But you really want to be associated with that kind of pump and dump system, right? You really don't. The holders, and this is just for me, the holders I would want, which I think is what you're doing, is you want true people that believe in you, believe in your team, believe in your goal of the company and what you want to do. Is that right?
That's correct. 100%.
Damn, I should run for office. No,
You should.
I'm just kidding. No way in hell. So what else? That metaverse thing blew my mind. Obviously, Dojo Swap. You heard it here first, for sure. Is it okay if I do a video on that, or do you not want me to leak it out until you get word from Dojo Swap?
Nah, leak it out, man. Like I dropped it here, so people are going to see this anyway. So you do what you got to do, dog.
I'm doing a video. That's what I do. I'm doing a video for sure.
Yeah.
No, is there anything else? So for like the new investor or someone that hasn't heard of Medi token, is there anything you want to say about your project? I know we went through a lot, and a lot of it was some of the similar questions that you went on with other AMAs, obviously, because you're talking about your company, your passion, and all that. Is there anything else for like the new investor you'd like to say right now, if you had the chance?
For new investors, I would tell any new investor to like look at the chart. And the charts are fine, but you got to see the bigger picture. Like if you're interested in making a good investment or a wise investment, Medi token is definitely where you should put some of your money. Not all of it, diversify, but put some of it in Medi token, because this is a long-term like thing. This is something that's going to be around as long as it can be around. So yeah, I think that's just telling people like, hey, it's a great opportunity. You're doing a great thing by being part of the community, part of the family, being a holder. You can make money, and while you're making money, some of that money is actually going towards something good in the world. Like something that's bigger than me or you or anyone. Like it's going to like a greater good, and you can feel good about that.
Yeah, and for the charts, I mean, everyone gets wrapped up into the charts, right? But if you obviously crypto as a whole right now is going down, right? I'm not going down, but I mean, it's trending a little down just right now, right? And we go through these spurts, but if don't look at the charts. If you actually believe in the team that's behind the project, if you believe in the project itself and what they're going to do, and also the community, if you believe and you can actually talk to the community and you guys can answer questions back and forth if you have them and everything is good, make that's how I choose my investments. And so, not everything's long term, right? But if you fully believe in what you're putting your money into, don't look at the charts every day because sometimes you're going to get a gain of 50%. Sometimes it's going to be down 30%. That's just going to drive you absolutely crazy. So as an investor, just believe in, if you believe in it, just invest in it and just park it away for a little bit. Don't even, just hop out of the charts. Trust me, hop out of the charts. Unless you're coming on my show and then you've seen that green candle, right? Because that's what the Patchwork Entertainment effect is what I call it. Not that, but that. Definitely just kidding. That's absolutely not because of me. That's probably because of Dojo Swap. No, man, but is there any other questions in the community? I know we've gone 51-ish minutes. I know there's going to be a lot of DMs after this that people that are just getting off work that are going to be catching this. But I want to say, man, I appreciate you coming on. And I did get a DM saying, Keith, how much they pay you for you to host them on your show. I didn't pay them anything, or they didn't pay me anything. I asked them if they can come on just because I believe in Brandon. I believe in the company. So I wanted them to come in, and there's my initial Twitter post right there, my tweet. But no, really, I just believe in the product and I believe in the future of this project. And I wanted just to get on here and share it with our community because I think a lot of our community members, I know I do videos on this token, but I think a lot of community members miss out on actually getting to know the CEO and seeing the vision or hearing the vision. And I think that's really important with these projects that don't do AMAs. Like you got to hear from your community. Like I jump on your Twitter page all the time, Brandon, and I see that you guys are very active on your Twitter. You guys post a lot of stuff on your Twitter, and I follow that kind of stuff a lot just to see what you guys do. Because as an investor, you want to know, you want to get that information. You don't want to invest in something and never get information. So no, I just appreciate what you guys are doing over there. I know you got probably a ton more AMAs, but I definitely appreciate you coming on this channel. And I'm looking forward to the future, man, of seeing you guys on Dojo Swap, seeing the possible metaverse stuff, definitely the Medi Clinic. But yeah, man, do you have any last words for the community?
Yeah, well, we didn't get a chance to, so we got so off track, man. We didn't even talk about the Mandocs thing.
That's right. Let's hit it. That's right.
Man, I love that team to death, man. They're awesome, man. So the Mandocs partnership it's going to be a collaboration of our NFTs. So you have the Medi NFTs and you have the Mandocs NFTs. We're going to mesh them together and we're going to create like a Medi Mandocs set of NFTs, probably about 500 of them, super limited. And then it's going to have like the Medi character with the Mandocs look, artwork, coloring, feel. So it's going to be something amazing, man. I'm super excited.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's going to happen. We're in the works now, passing back drawings and stuff like that, trying to figure out what artwork's going to look right, what's not, and what attributes to put in and stuff like that. But that's going to be big. We're going to be staking on Kishimoto's staking app, their platform in the next few weeks. That's going to be
huge. That is huge.
Mm-hmm. Then we got other partnerships lined up, man, that we haven't announced yet. That's going to be pretty awesome. Sponsorships that are pretty awesome coming out, man. Like we got a lot going on, man. So this is a long-term play. So that if you see those charts and you're like, oh man, Medi token's only at 400K market cap, it went down 80%. It's like, man, like Medi token is going to be 100 million market cap plus project. Might not be today or tomorrow, but that's the goal I got. That's the vision I had.
Well, especially the staking aspect alone, that's so attractive to people as far as passive income goes. So I do crypto full time, right? So I live off of crypto. So I look for big time staking plays, and that's how I earn my monthly salary per se. So just having a staking platform alone is absolutely huge. But yeah, I know you guys are working hard on partnerships, and it's still a new project if you think about it. Anything under a year, man, is honestly for me a new project. But yeah, I love the vision, and I can't wait for the partnerships to come out. And that Mandox partnership, I'm super. I mean, they do some cool stuff, so I'm excited. And if there's only 500, you better believe I'm getting a couple for sure. So yeah, let me for sure throw something out on Twitter before that happens.
For sure.
I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Definitely.
Have me, man.
Yeah. So anyone need to check out MediToken. Obviously, their website meditoken.org. Fantastic team. We just went through all that stuff. But look them up. Do your own research. Obviously, this is never financial advice. Don't hit me up because something went down 10%. Don't do that. Do your own research, and that's it. I'm definitely going to be in touch with you though for the future stuff if you're willing to. But yeah, it was definitely nice meeting you finally. I know we've been back and forth on Twitter and stuff, but yeah, definitely nice meeting you, man.
Likewise, man. It's a pleasure to be here, man. Because like I said, I love your videos, dude. And I was like, hopefully we link up, and we did. So this is awesome.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, look out for that one tonight or tomorrow morning for sure. I'm gonna get right on it. So
yeah, man.
Well, you definitely have a good night, man. I appreciate you definitely coming on the show.
Oh, before you go,
I'm not going yet. What's up?
Every AMA host, we'll ask them to pick a charity, and then MediToken donates on their behalf. So not today, but I'll need you to figure out what charity you would want MediToken to donate on your behalf.
Perfect.
It can be anything.
Yeah,
it can be healthcare related. It can be anything.
Feed my starving children, man. Boom.
All right.
That's one, I love that one. Feed my starving children.
Got it. I'll put in the notes.
I appreciate that. That's awesome. I definitely appreciate that for sure. All right. Anything else? Anyone from the comments? Nope. All right, Brandon. Well, I definitely appreciate it, man. I'll definitely be in touch.
Awesome, man.
All right. See you, man.
Later.
Bye.